What do you love about music?
Some movies are late bloomers and gain fame and recognition way after their original release.
A cult classic movie is a movie that generally bombed at the box office, didn't do well, sometimes was even critically panned, but gained notoriety and popularity over the years and is more popular now than in its release.
And today, walking us through some of her favorite cult classic movies over the decades that bombed at the box office is Fandango correspondent Nikki Novak. We're going back to the 80s with Blade Runner.
When Blade Runner came out in 1982, people weren't really jiving with it. Blade Runner was a much more serious movie. It didn't have as much action. It was very film noir. It wasn't as mainstream.
But that all changed with time.
It really gained in popularity, and now people have it as their 1, 2, 3 favorite movies of all time. It's been rediscovered. It's even been remade in 2017.
Up next, we're cruising into the 90s with Fight Club.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
It was actually a bit of a box office bomb, but now you say that line and everybody knows what movie that is from.
Even with the star power of Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, this cult classic failed to drum up an audience.
Critics did not like this film. They felt like it was too violent. It was a much deeper film than people initially realized, and that's why it gained popularity over time. And it was a very dark film. Today considered, again, a classic, one of the greatest of all time.
And finally, we're throwing it back to the year 2000 with Almost Famous.
And I think Almost Famous is one of those that was almost famous back in the year 2000, but in 2021 considered a classic.
Even though it was a critical darling and won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, people didn't rush to see it.
The budget of Almost Famous was $60 million, and it only made $47 million at the box office.
But there is that one iconic scene that gives us all the feels.
People have also rediscovered the song Tiny Dancer, and Elton John has even acknowledged that fact. He has thanked Almost Famous.
Movie flops that ended up as cult faves on the hot list.